Hello everybody, my name is Marlo and today I'm going to be showing you how to build this cute and cozy stone cottage in Minecraft. Before we begin, let's go through the materials list first of all. We'll start on the top row here with some cobblestone, stone, andesite, as well as some stone bricks, cracked, and stairs too. Basically all of the stone blocks. You are also going to need some stair and slab variants of these three as well, so I'd maybe recommend bringing along a crafting bench or a stone cutter if you can get one on hand. On the second row here we have some brick stairs, granite stairs and some polished granite stairs, as well as some slabs too and a few extra brick walls. Now some of these blocks, or at least most of them on the top two rows, have been rounded up a little bit as they are going to be used to add in some texture, so you just want to make sure you have enough of them basically. The rest of the blocks though should be to the exact amount. We have some stripped dark oak logs and some stripped dark oak wood, and then all of the spruce variants along here that I'm just scrolling over, and then pretty much everything else is just the rest of the miscellaneous items that we're going to be using to complete the rest of the build. A couple of things I should say is these 5 cornflowers simply represent any type of flowers. They don't all have to be the same one, and small things like it doesn't need to be a cyan bed, you can pick whichever color you would like to use. Oh, and one last thing, you're also going to need a painting. I forgot to add that one to the list. Once you have the location of where you're going to build your cottage, the first thing you can do is grab some cobblestone blocks and make a 6 block by 5 block rectangle. So this is going to be the front of the build, that is 6 block long, as well as at the back, and then the two sides here are 5 blocks long, all made out of cobblestone. What you can then do on top of each of these blocks is place down an additional 3 more so that it is 4 blocks high. So when you're all done, you should have a nice beautiful cobblestone block looking like this. So as I've already mentioned, this is going to be the front of the build. It just has to be one of the sides that is 6 blocks long, as you can see, not one of the sides that is 5 blocks long. And what we're going to do is go around and punch out all of the windows and the doorway. The doorway for a start is going to go right there on those 2 blocks. We can then leave one gap to the left and break away these 2 blocks. Then we're going to move around to the right and break away these 3 in the middle. And then we're going to move around to the back, and from this block we're going to break a 2x2 square, so 1 block in from the left. Then we're going to leave a block and break away these 2. The final side round here we're just going to leave open like it is for the moment. Now we just want to grab some cobblestone stairs and a cobblestone slab, as well as some more full blocks. And the first thing we can do is actually hop up here on the left hand side, and we're going to place 3 blocks like this. Just like that. We're going to do a similar thing on this side, except we're going to have 2 full blocks and then a slab in the middle, just to make a little bit of a window. It'll look quite nice when everything else is done. I know it's quite barren at the moment. We're then going to come around to the back, and we're going to actually break this block here and replace it with a cobblestone stair. We're then going to have 2 upside down cobblestone stairs on those 2 spots, and then we're going to move around to the front here and place in another upside down cobblestone stair. So those are all of the cobblestone blocks added in. What I'm doing now is mixing in some stone blocks as well as some andesite blocks, just to get a little bit of texture added in, making it much more interesting and not quite as hard on the eyes as just the plain old cobblestone is. Of course, not forgetting to mix up some of the stairs and slabs too. So this already looks a whole lot better, I would say. We are missing quite a lot of detail and we will add it in eventually, but for right now, we're going to add in a chimney round to the side of the build here. Over on the left hand side, on this face that doesn't have any windows punched out. So what we're going to do is grab our stone brick blocks, and we're going to add 1, 2, and 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7 blocks straight in a line right in the middle. And at the top here we can have our campfire surrounded by spruce trap doors, just to make our chimney animated, throwing off some smoke particles, which always looks very nice. What doesn't look very nice though is the shape of the chimney. Obviously it cannot stay like this, it looks not the best. So we're going to add in 1, 2, 3, 4 blocks at the bottom here, have a stair in the middle with 2 either side of it, and then we're going to have an upside down stair here on either side with a regular stair on top, just like so, to give us this shape with a bit more sturdiness and foundation at the bottom of the chimney. The last thing to do is just to mix in a couple of the cracked stone bricks. Once again, same reason as what we did over here, just adds a little bit of texture, which I think makes it look that little bit better. Now we're going to start work on the roof, which is going to be made out of brick blocks, granite and polished granite blocks. Now mine look a little bit different here, it's just a custom texture of mine. Your polished granite, the vanilla look of it, will look absolutely fine too. But I'm going to recommend you build the roof out of just one of those blocks for now and mix in the other two later. So I'm going to be using bricks, but if you want to go for the cheaper option of just granite maybe, feel free to do that. But yeah, just use one of them and add in the texture later, I would recommend. So we're going to start off with 2 upside down stairs on the corners of the front of the build here. And then we're going to have 4 slabs in the center. We can also do this around the back of the build too, so 2 stairs and 4 slabs. We can then come around to this side where we don't have the chimney, and we're going to start off with a stair there with an upside down one off the back and do that again with then another stair on top. So we're basically just staircasing our way up until we eventually get to the middle. We can then do the same over here where there should be left with 1 block in between where we can have an upside down stair, just like that. And then we're going to do a similar thing around this side with the chimney, except we won't be able to have that middle block because obviously the blocks that we already have placed down kind of get in the way, but that is absolutely fine. It's part of the design, so your chimney side should look like this. As for filling in the rest of the roof, well, we just want to grab either our brick or granite stairs and just fill in the rest like this, going across from one stair to the other. So 2 rows on that side and 2 rows on this side. As for the middle section where we have this gap, we want to start off with a slab on top of this upside down stair and just bring it across until you reach the chimney on this side. And with all that done and a very bricky looking roof, we can then mix in the other 2 blocks that we haven't already used. Once again, same reasoning as these 2, just to mix in a little bit of texture. Hold your horses, hang on a second, wait just a minute. There's a few more blocks we need to add in before we can mix in the texture. And they're round on the right hand side of the build here, so we're going to break away these 2 stairs and replace them with some regular stairs, so not upside down ones basically. And then very simply just 3 slabs in the middle. That's it. Now you can add in the texture. With all of this done, it's now time to make the build look good. Because right now, I mean, it's certainly missing some details. So we're going to start at the front of the build here, and we're just going to place down a sideways barrel like this just beside our chimney here. Then a regular barrel just on this spot, another sideways one facing forward, and another one just like this to make a bit of a barrel stack. And then we're going to place a campfire here, as well as one here, and extinguish them just for some wood piled up next to the barrels. We're then going to place our spruce door in our entranceway here with a brick wall either side of it and a spruce fence on top. And then we're going to place in our campfires, but this time we're going to place them in on the side here like this. So we get that log going across the top instead of the 2 logs like that. And then obviously we're going to go ahead and extinguish them just to make a bit of a different design for an awning above the doorway here. And then the next thing to do is to place in a flower pot on this spot right here with something inside of it, and then actually just step inside, and we're going to crouch as we do this, but we're just going to place down an oak trap door. So the front of the build should look like this. Already a whole lot better. Moving on round to the right hand side of the build, the first thing we're going to do is just place down 3 temporary blocks on these 3 spots, just one away from our window gap there. And we're doing that so that we can place in some backwards facing barrels, so that from the front and the outside, they look like this instead of having this texture. And then beside that, we're going to have 2 brick walls, just like so, and then 2 spruce fences with 3 spruce fence gates in the center. We can then go ahead and place down 2 flower pots, of course crouching so you don't open the barrels, put something inside of them, and lastly we're going to have 3 grey stained glass panes. And as for round the back of the build here, we want to go ahead and fill in all 4 of these spots with some more grey stained glass panes. And then in front of these 2 right here, we're going to have some coarse dirt surrounded by spruce trap doors to make a nice little flower bed like so. And then lastly, we're going to have some more spruce trap doors, this time serving as some shutters for this window. So there we go, that is the exterior of our cottage all done. Time to head inside and start work here. The first thing we're going to do inside of here is actually make ourselves a table, and that table is going to be a piston just underneath this trapdoor. So go to this block and dig down by 2, replace the floor there with a lever, and then power a piston with it, so it extends to get a bit of a table design. We can see the dirt behind this block, so we're going to go ahead and replace that with a cobblestone, just like that. Now we can go ahead and get rid of the rest of the blocks on the floor here, which is going to pop off the door, but that is fine. Just pick it up, ready to place down later. And we're going to grab our stripped dark oak logs. We're going to have a line across there, as well as one here. But we don't want to be able to see this texture next to our table, which is why on these 2 blocks we're going to use some stripped dark oak wood. This is just a stripped dark oak log with the same texture on all 6 sides, and you don't have the inside of the log like that. And the rest of the blocks here and here can just be the normal stripped dark oak logs. Of course, you can go ahead and place your door back now. So that's all the floor done, as well as the table. We can now sort out the ceiling, which is going to start off by having a line of 4 spruce trapdoors on both of the sides, just like this. Make sure it's on the top of the block and not the bottom, like so. You want it basically next to the granite and the brick. We can then lastly just have a line of slabs in the middle. Now we're going to go ahead and make ourselves a fireplace just on this wall right here, behind where we have the chimney on the outside. So the first thing to do is to break 1, 2 and 3 of these blocks, just like that. And then we're going to break 2 more here, like so. We're going to replace those back 2 with some furnaces, just so if you happen to be living in here, you got some smelting opportunities, and it's kind of a nice way to hide them away. We're going to get rid of these 3 dirt blocks too, and just replace them with some stone variants, and stick a campfire at the bottom here, so as you can see, you can still access the furnaces. To cover this block up, we're just going to have an upside down stair of whichever block was there before, and a sight in my case. And then we just need to cover up our campfire here, so we're going to have 2 brick walls either side, iron bars in the middle, and then just 2 empty flower pots here for a bit of extra added detail. On the left hand side of our piston table, we're going to have a spruce stair with a sign on the side to make a chair, so you could sit on there and eat some food maybe, once you've smelted it in your smoking furnaces. And then we're going to stick a bed over here in this corner, a chest on this spot right here, and then the final thing to do is to replace this block with an upside down stair, so it just gets a bit of a gradual slope towards the exit, and from the outside still looks exactly the same. One very last thing to add in that I nearly forgot about is a painting on this spot right here, just above the fireplace. So place in a temporary block there, and then you can just cycle through until you get a painting that you want. So there we go everybody, that is going to do it for the cozy cottage tutorial. I really hope you guys enjoyed watching. Thank you ever so much for doing that, and I will see you next time. Bye for now.